any worries about going up against new top laner.
Yeah, right now, since Seraph started playing in 2016 in LCS play, he's currently, I believe it's 14-5 in wins and losses in his professional game. So he is on an enormous roll. And people have only been able to take sort of temporary wins off of him. I don't think he's had a 2-0 back-to-back loss in quite some time. But picks and bans, as you can see, coming in right now for Phoenix1 and EnVy. That Lissandra stricken away from EnVy, just enabling them way too much. Swain taken away, and Nidalee banned away from Procxin.
Yeah, the Lissandra ban makes obvious sense. And I do like when Phoenix1 just bans the things that beat them. Procxin, while he did get a little over-aggressive, was still rather effective in the game. And something we actually didn't touch on is Procxin, Pirean used to play together last split, right? They were the mid lane jungle duo, so hopefully able to read each other's tendencies. I would say Procxin definitely got the better of Pirean last match.
Yeah, old teammates now playing against each other. We'll hope that Phoenix1 can take us to a game 3 as the first pick, Vladimir, gets through and is locked in immediately for Phoenix1.
Yeah, whether that goes top or mid lane, it can still be rather formidable. I do think that it needs to get a few items first before it can really crush, and if you're decisive enough against it, you can kind of burst the Vladimir down. We'll see what EnVy ends up taking, since a lot of their successful champions from last game are banned away.
30 seconds now for EnVy, nowhere near as immediate with their picks as in the previous match. You can see Coach Miracle leading them through.
To me, a Kindred would be a fairly obvious choice. Even though Kindred has actually fallen in priority for a lot of teams, I think it's still very high, and we did play it yesterday against Apex as well, and since one jungler is banned, it would make sense to take another strong one here, but they instead just opt to lock in their bottom lane.
Yeah, LOD and Hakuho getting a bit of priority. That Karma has been huge for Hakuho over this series. Again, it's all about enabling Seraph, and Karma is a champion that definitely does that.
Yeah, Karma can enable the whole team.
Yeah.
Which is why I think she's gotten so much priority early. That also means, though, that the Kindred very easily goes over to Phoenix1. Like, you talk about power picks, Phoenix1 has 3 of them right now.
Yeah. Slooshi back on that Sivir as well. Despite that one duel with Seraph, he's had some pretty convincing play on that Sivir. Keeping safe, getting some big crits. We'll see if he's able to pull it off once again as the Kindred gets swiped away by Zentinel once again.
Absolutely. Now EnVy can really make the decisions for their team composition. They've kind of opted away from the obvious, in my opinion, power picks, and will have to lock in at least one solo laner here. I definitely expect them to counterpick with our last solo laner. So expect a jungler and something else here. I'd be very surprised if it's Jace. Irelia would make a lot more sense.
Yeah, Irelia now locked in along with Olaf for Procxin. Wow. Last game we were saying EnVy is looking aggressive, they're looking decisive. Well, now they've got Olaf Irelia.
Yeah, and the Karma to speed him up, which is a pretty nice combination. Definitely starting the trend of Olaf a little bit was Reignover. We've seen it from Meteos as well, and now we're going to be seeing it from Procxin. So multiple teams trying to pick that up.
Yeah, meanwhile, Shen locked in for Brandini. Previously, Brandon FTW. Definitely a champion that he's comfortable on. We'll see how that works out, as the final pick for Phoenix1 is going to be support that Bard going back to Gate.
Yeah, Gate has had his best performances on Bard so far this split, even if there haven't been too many high points, or even in the past. But the Shen I also consider a soft counter pick to Irelia, mainly because Irelia has to come into such close range. Shen can get the pass through on his key strike, and then also he can just stop Irelia from hitting him because he can just press his W and it blocks auto attack. So I really do like that matchup for the Shen.
Final lock in for EnVy. Ninja taking Anivia in the mid lane. EnVy changing things up.
Yeah, and like, this is really interesting to me because to me, Phoenix1 has the stronger team composition just from a straight up team fighting perspective. But you do understand that EnVy is just like very confident in a lot of the matchups they're picking. Ninja got to choose to pick the Anivia into the Vladimir, and I think we've seen that matchup play out in favor of Anivia actually a couple of times.
Yeah.
LOD and Hakuho got first choice of what they're doing in the dual lane. So again, this is going to be about EnVy just trying to win lanes and then out-manipulate Phoenix1 on the map, because I don't think they're out-drafting them in any amazing sense. They're just kind of playing a whole wide array of champions and trying to outplay.
Once again, Phoenix1 We'll see if they can take us to a game 3, as right now, one more loss could mean that Envy start this series, their first 2 weeks off in the LCS, 4-0. Will Phoenix1 be able to pull off a game 2 win? Let us know using hashtag P1win or hashtag EnVyUs. We'll find out if we're going into a game 3 in just a bit, but Phoenix1, this is going to be a tough one.
Yeah, it has been a tough split so far for Phoenix1, and again with the substitution of Brandini, we'll see if they can do anything coming into this game too.
Certainly will. Hopefully he'll be able to bring a fresh perspective, possibly be more capable of handling Seraph in that top lane. Shen, much more comfortable dealing with that, as we have now loaded onto the Rift for this game number 2 between Phoenix1 and Envy.
All right, so last game, we saw some fairly ambitious moves, I would say, at level 1. 5 of the bottom lane summoner spells were burned just trying to posture for level 1 positioning. The first one was obviously bottom lane, as Envy had snuck down there early and they stopped Slooshi from trying to get her ass off, and a similar thing could actually be happening here. But Slooshi places a very safe ward, and since Hakuho went for the harass with Q, he was not able to auto-attack the ward, so LOD hit it twice, Hakuho did not hit it, and a very small missed opportunity on a ward clear.
Stun. Finds a bit of damage onto Ninja, doesn't follow quite through.
Yeah, I would say successful defensive warding so far by Phoenix1. Ninja was trying to recall on a ward. They now know that it's warded, obviously, because of the way Pirean stepped up.
Yeah. So, looks like things are going to be relatively standard. Envy might... Yeah, look. Immediately I say it and it's wrong. It's a lane swap as Envy set up towards the top side.
Yeah, well, with the defensive wards that happen here, you are free to swap if you so choose, and a lot of times it can just be a total guess. So, like, this could be a situation where a lot of Hakuho actually want to 2v2, but are just expecting Phoenix1 to try and dodge away from it. I would say Bard Sivir is not bad in lane by any sense, so definitely a different start from last game. I think it'll be very interesting to see how Seraph goes about getting farm on Irelia here, as he's going to be walking into a lane against 2 people. You should know right now.
He's going to spot that. He dashes forward for a quick 2-3 minions.
That's pretty clutch, actually. Very aggressive play there by Seraph. Because Slooshi and Gate had gone for the Krugs, it meant the waves were going to crash into each other. Luckily, Seraph was able to walk down, quickly queues to 3 minions and runs out of there, something that Shen is not able to do. So that 1 CS lead.
Yeah.
Not that substantial.
Well, looks like Seraph isn't going to get the opportunity to lane against Brandini for a bit. So we're not quite going to get to see his abilities tested on this debut just yet, as they're continuing to jungle and follow up. Look for those early turrets while Zentinel continues to clear. Yeah, Procxin on that Olaf.
Yeah, the first clear for Olaf is pretty quick, actually. Especially with blue buff, able to just spam through the entire jungle.
Drop axe after axe and just clear through these camps. Seraph will catch up with his duo, and Brandini does the same. So the tier 1s are going to be traded. So far, looks like jungle's pretty similar. Full clear from everyone except for Zentinel.
Yeah, and not too much creative stuff happening right here. The big differentiation factor is going to be if they give the entire experience for the turret to someone, or if anyone's able to pick up a successful gank mid as they split the map. Looks like Ninja's in a little bit of trouble, actually.
Forced to flash away. Zentinel continues to chase. He's still got the egg, but Zentinel takes a lot of damage. Procxin chases forward. First blood for Procxin. There's a teleport from Seraph as Pirean gets bullied out.
Just not a smart gank attempt from Zentinel and Pirean. In lane swaps like this, the map is always split into essentially 2 sides. And if you ever go onto the other person's side, you better have a kill completely secured, because you have no idea where the rest of the team could be. They chase pretty much blindly into the brush right there and allow Procxin to just land an axe straight onto Zentinel. Also, the fact that Ninja had Ignite, whereas Pirean doesn't have an Exhaust or an Ignite, even though it may have looked like Phoenix1 had an advantage, the Olaf running in there after he had been ignited is just going to turn it. So, like, notice this. They throw out his Q so they see the chance to go for a gank. And then they flash over the Anivia wall to try and secure the kill. But, like, even if they get Ninja, he's got an egg. up. So Procxin actually overthrows his first axe, but it doesn't matter because it's a level 3 Kindred that's in there. Seraph comes in afterwards, and the teleport is actually unnecessary, so that'll greatly help Procxin. Actually, will end up hurting Seraph a little bit because he was unable to get solo gold from the turret kill, but a failed gank heavily by Zentinel.
Once again, over-aggressing, taking the greedy path and getting punished by Envy. As now the duo swap to the opposite side of the map, Slooshi and Gate are going to look for the top tier 1. Teleport from Brandini is going to let him get up there and hopefully catch a bit of the gold. Seraph doesn't have his own, so he's got to go the old-fashioned way to catch up with his own duo on the opposite side.
Yeah, and probably we'll see if Envy takes down this turret. They'll give the solo gold to Seraph, since he is actually a full 300 gold behind Brandini right now. And we know the way that Envy wants to be able to use Seraph as a split-pushing threat to spread out the map and create more opportunity for plays, so it's really important that Shen doesn't snowball ahead of him. Let's see, come on, will they do it, or will Seraph be confident that he can catch enough waves and catch up?
Yeah, LOD trying to speed everyone up with that Essence Flux, lining it up as much as he can, and seems like they'll be able to get it.
And looks like he's gonna, yep, all the Seraph. Yay, 400 gold, basically a kill. Brandini gets down the other side though, so he's still going to be advantaged. It's just not going to be an extreme difference.
Yeah, still only about a 300 between the two, but Envy, once again, prioritizing that early dragon off this lane swap. They're going to be able to take it without contest as Sentinel is dropping a pink ward and, in fact, heading towards that side of the jungle. Gets a ward over the wall. He's got his smite as well. It is secured by Procxin, but he's stunned against the wall. Heal keeps him standing as he runs to safety, and Seraph looks to zone away Phoenix1. He might have gone a bit too far. But once again, empowered by Hakuho's Karma, is able to run away.
Really aggressive play by Gate, and it nearly works, but Procxin did have his ghost back up. That's something I'm probably going to say every single game when we have an Olaf. I really love champions that can utilize ghost well, because the cooldown is so much shorter than Flash. Like, you expect them to not have that escape summoner up, and it almost always is. So Procxin can ghost away after nearly getting bursted by Gate, and the zoning from Seraph when he dove in there to kind of draw some damage contributed greatly to Procxin being able to escape with his life.
So that is going to be the first Drake with no kill from Phoenix1. They're actually now shoving onto a tier 2 of Envy, but Envy are going to catch it. They've got LOD and Hakuho ready to receive these minions, while on the opposite side, Seraph is waiting for Brandini to overshove so he can catch his own minions. They're just continuing to shove this in. Don't let it freeze.
It's interesting, actually, to see the way these lanes are set up, because it's a shoving lane on Seraph's side. And depending on how Procxin can keep control here, they might look to dive and starve Brandini out. Since control has been lost for Phoenix1 on this side of the map. So essentially, LOD and Hakuho have to be very careful about a crashing wave, and then Brandini needs to be very careful.
Yeah, or a passage as they go over the wall. Hakuho takes some damage. It's flash from Slooshi. He's going to get the kill.
Yeah, and it's actually Envy who's not respectful of the new version of the map split. They should have known, with Procxin being down around the blue buff of Phoenix1, that Phoenix1 was probably going to mirror that. And Hakuho and LOD push up way too far for some farm, and even after burning flash, still die.
Ooh, Ninja nailing these skill shots, forces the pool out of Pirean. Now blue buff looks to be stolen away by Phoenix1 in answer for their own that was taken. Rift Herald now is going to go over to Envy. We'll see who they end up giving that to.
Yeah, and we have this conversation about Envy. Like, if they are able to win this series against Phoenix1, they will be tied for first place with either Immortals or TSM, depending on the results that happen on the other stream right now. And they'll be tied for first, but a lot of their play doesn't mean...
Well, there's the Ignite ticking. And a little bit of lap spam as Pirean comes back up, but he gets out.
A nice play by Ninja. Like, a lot of good individual plays by Envy, but still far too many mistakes to be considered a real top team. And, like, their strength of schedule, in a sense, is letting them get away with a lot of these errors that I think they'll need to clean up if they want to take that next step to being a top team. It's a fantastic start if they can go 4-0. It's already a great start at 3-0, but definitely things to clean up.
Whoa. Let's see if the Meep is going to crash into Ninja. Oh, it got him.
And it's stunned, too. Caught a wall somehow.
Long range. Well, that is bonus gold that Gate did get. It was just slightly delayed, so not too critical. Seraph continuing to catch on this side of the map. He does now have that glimpse of the void buff. instead of giving that over to Procxin this time around. Which is probably going to help quite a bit against Brandini. He's currently 2 levels down in 25 CS, and Phoenix1 are putting pressure on this side of the map as they sneak forward with a few pink boards.
Yeah, so many deep vision approaches, and this could actually be a counter gank depending on how well Brandini can run away.
That's a ghost. He's going to dodge some of the attacks for now. There's the counter gank.
They are!
Catches up. Seraph is getting bursted down. He's actually forced to drop the respite. Zentinel keeping Seraph alive. He's healed. Can they get it? Pirean joins the fight. He's going to clean up a few kills. That's 2 for Phoenix1. Oh, they caught Ninja.
You could probably just wall and run away, but even then, the timing on that was so fortunate for Phoenix1 because they were nearly done completing their recalls when Procxin decided to go for the kill, and it just made the retreat from Brandini so good right there. You could see how hard it was at first for Procxin and Seraph to kill him because he could just put up that dodge field from his W and delay greatly. Then he just got to run away straight into a beautiful bait of a Bard stun. Gives more kills over to Phoenix1.
Yeah, they're now continuing to collapse onto the mid lane. Zentinel just lagging a bit behind. Has LOD and Hakuho trying to get the minions that Ninja prepped for them. Here's that fight once again.
Yeah, they ghost straight in. You can see Brandini taunts away, and then he just sits there. They can't auto-attack him while that's up. Then he flashes into the brush, which is the right spot because it makes Seraph and Procxin check blind into a Bard stun. And then here, I was actually not super pleased with the Kindred ultimate, but they end up getting away with it because they had Vladimir on the way. No one dies, and they end up getting the double kill. So worth at the end of the day, I suppose.
And these are the sort of mistakes that we're talking about. When we compare them to better teams, Envy are making aggressive plays that sometimes can be exploited. Well, seems like Phoenix1 finally are able to do that in this first turnaround. Yeah,
they're leaving themselves vulnerable in a couple of situations. Similar things did happen in game 1 as well, as Procxin got himself in trouble a lot on Italy, and like, they're still putting themselves in positions where they're going to have to outplay, but they usually have the waves in the right place. This has just been a very unique game because we've had a ton of lane swapping. And Seraph looking to get pretty aggressive because he did get the Rift Herald buff quite early on.
He was down, what was that, 3 levels by the time Brandini caught up?
Yeah,
it's still very confident, I guess we'll call it.
Yeah, he's definitely playing confident with the Rift Herald buff, but got to be careful not to over-gank when you don't have vision.
Yeah, so now that's Phoenix1. In the lead in kills and turrets, but they're still down just a bit in gold as they send a few members to the top side of the map. Seraph, with some help from Hakuho, is going to be able to catch this minion wave, meaning LOD will free farm on the opposite side of the map. And Procxin continues to hard farm his own jungle. 20 CS ahead, 12 minutes in of Zentinel. Once again, that priority. Seems like Seraph is taking a bit of a back seat this game.
Yeah.
For Envy.
Well, he's had to. They did give him the priority of that Rift Herald buff, but he is definitely, because of his early teleport, missed out on some of that turret gold. Non-ideal.
Actually dropping a wall and the stun. Ninja solo kills with some help from Hakuho.
Slooshi just not respecting Ninja's damage output, thinks he's got the spell shield so he doesn't have to be worried, but he should have been very worried because Ninja has the ignite and was able to land the stun for the kill.
Yeah, meanwhile, Envy are taking now the second Drake of the game. This is Cloud Drake. Again, no contest from Phoenix1.
Yeah, Procxin will be very fast. Zipping around in fights. They catch Ninja. Hakuho is kind of here. Let's see if they can chain a stun.
Oh, they do land the stun against him. He's got the egg, though, so he should be able to take some damage, but there's no chance. Brandini even chandles in to get an assist. That's 4 members of Phoenix1.
Yeah, we need to track how frequently Gates' Bard ultimate can lead to kills, because especially against Anivia, it's tricky for Anivia to dodge. We call her the slow bird, or used to call her the slow bird because she was the slowest champion in the game, still is, and you never build movement speed items on the Anivia either, so it's very difficult to dodge well-placed Bard ultimates when you're alone like that. Phoenix1 trying to push up after that pick.
Yeah, despite the fact that Anivia is dead, and they still have enough wave clear with that True Shot Barrage from LOD to keep the turrets standing. As Phoenix1 collapse on the mid lane, gets some chip damage before backing off. Seraph now hard shoving on the opposite side of the map. He's actually managed to catch up with Brandini, though this will be a nice minion wave that he should be able to absorb.
Yeah, working towards Sunfire Cape, relatively tanky Shen. Still like Shen. I'm glad he's seeing some play. It's a good matchup for really.
Oh, there's some poke. Ninja goes forward. He flashes. He's still able to get the kill.
Ninja is just destroying Phoenix1 right now, specifically Slooshi.
Yeah.
He's the one who he's been basically able to solo kill twice. And that's going to just make him very formidable in the late game. It's going to be hard for the team of Phoenix1 to get through Ninja's Anivia.
Yeah, some very confident play out of Ninja, aggressing forward. 15 minutes in, Envy down in kills, but up in gold and dragons. Now the next Drake will be an Ocean Drake. Seraph's already prepped on that side of the map, and LOD, he's been bot, he's been top, he's been mid. Looks like this time he might try to catch Brandini. Or the minion wave.
Yeah,
that's fine
minion
too.
wave's okay. The Ezreal Karma without the Iceborne Gauntlet, not able to take down a tank Shen.
Yeah.
It's going to be a little risky if we thought about it, but minion wave is the important thing right now as his call has just completed. Looking to hit that 2-item power spike when he gets Iceborne Gauntlet and the Manamune transformed into Murama.
Yeah, it seems like once again Envy, despite having those decisive calls, just a more patient early game. They wait for the opportunities to look for the plays.
Yeah. They have definitely had some over-eagerness that gets them in trouble, which has pushed them now into a bit of a passive move, and their game time has been very long for them. I'm not sure if that's because they can't play fast or if they don't want to play fast, because at least here they've definitely made some aggressive plays at the backline.
Oh wow, Seraph destroys Slooshi!
This is not Slooshi's day, and this is the type of thing you would have actually expected to see more of him yesterday, where I thought he performed decently, is here. This is a guy who hasn't played AD carry for a while. He was a mid laner when he was in his prior stint in the LCS, and really has had to fill in on short notice right here, so very tough situation for him to be put in. And solo killed a couple times by Ninja, solo killed a couple times by Seraph. It hurts even more because, like, he's not up against the opponent AD carry, he's just getting killed by solo laners, as he's now under-leveled as an AD instead of over-leveled on a mid.
Gate gets pinched against the wall. Stun is not going to be able to hit Pirean. He even drops the Hemo Plague to clear this wave. Anything to keep this turret standing and slow down Envy's pressure.
Yeah, and they're still going to have the split push pressure of Brandini for quite a while. Shen is really difficult for Irelia to solo kill, so it's going to be something that can stay up there and keep pace with Envy's map movements. That's something that Phoenix1 really struggled with in Game 1, and something that maybe Zig would have been subbed out for, mainly because he was getting caught in those situations where I don't think Brandini Shen will have the same issues. We hope.
Yeah.
You never know.
Once again, the vision priority from Phoenix1, though this time Envy are ready to fight for it. They're getting a few forward wards out. Another Smite Stone from Zentinel to keep track of Envy if they were to choose to rotate, but so far Envy have been pretty stable in their lanes, and it's just been the solo lane plays that have been getting them advantages.
Yeah, it's true, and it was actually some of the more aggressive team plays that have been hurting for them, but just a couple mistakes. I don't think it's going to dissuade them fully, because in Game 1, Envy did make a lot of very decisive moves down the stretch, specifically around Drake and Barry. And so far, they already have been making decisive decisions around Drake. 2 Cloud Drakes will also make them able to rotate much faster. And let's see, that Bard ult misses.
Yeah, Phoenix1 tried to use their turret as bait, but that is 2 ultimates down. They're not able to convert anything into a kill.
Yeah, Drake up in 40 seconds as well. Not having the Bard ultimate will be very costly for Phoenix1. Sivir ult down as well. I mean, considering that Envy has all of theirs, or will have all of theirs available in 19 minutes, this will make it pretty difficult, Drake, for Phoenix1 to take.
Ninja just getting that Anivia wave clear as he catches up. Drake now being vision swept out by Phoenix1. They've had pretty good vision control over the course of the series.
This vision control is very beneficial. If they can get a nice stun into the wall as Bard, they could prevent Envy from making it through this choke point.
Oh, we'll see if they can do it. Seraph dueling with Brandini on the opposite side of the map as the Ocean Drake spawns. But Phoenix1 give up the choke point and immediately back off.
Yeah, I don't know why they give up that choke point. The game is actually relatively close, but they must be playing like they're really far behind, and they give Anivia the zone she wants to control.
Oh, good trade for Brandini. Brings Seraph down to half, and Procxin is looking for Pirean. He's going to find a lot of damage. The wall is going to miss. There goes the Lamb's Respite. EnVy are going to back out as Brandon goes in. Ninja gets egged, and EnVy is trying to turn this around. Seraph is going to drop one. Pirean is in the front line. There's the late pull, but Brandini goes down before Pirean flashes away. LOD is going to pick up another kill, and EnVy are able to convert this. That's 4 members for 2.
Such a close fight as well. Both soul laners go down for EnVy, but nearly everyone goes down for Phoenix1. They don't have quite enough damage to burst through Ninja's egg, and it was off screen, but Seraph's teleport did a lot of work into closing off Phoenix1's backline, and in what we thought was going to be a Drake fight just erupts in the mid lane because it was an extension of them running from river, and then everyone collapses down into the fight. Now it looks like EnVy's going to try and secure this third break.
Yeah, and that play sort of perfectly capitalizes EnVy's sort of aggression. They make these aggressive plays that can be taken advantage of by enemy teams and rely on the out skill to get out of it. Teleport coming in as it looks like Phoenix1 want to try to collapse.
They were trying to utilize the extra global presence of the Shen, since Brandini was able to Shen ult into a fight, and Seraph actually just walked down. He didn't have to teleport, so my bad there. I thought he teleported. Didn't have to see it again. Bard ultimate lands. Maybe they try and get him now, knowing the egg is down.
Sun follows up. Ninja has no egg. He's CC locked forever, and he's finally going to go down. That's a successful dive. Seraph follows, and Pirean finally converts.
Bard ult converts right here, as you say.
Oh, and the turn
so aggressive
again.
In a 3v5.
Hakuho gets way too greedy. The Hemoplague is not enough to drop LOD. That's another member of EnVy dead. It's now this mid tier 1 is finally going to drop 5 members of Phoenix1.
Yeah, EnVy did not know when to back off. They felt very confident after all of their successes, but they had already lost a few very key members, and they make matters worse by sticking around. This will be 2 turns.
Yeah, this is a second turn, and Phoenix bring the gold to just about 1,000 between the two and get themselves right back into this game.
Awesome stuff right there. Even a few kills being able to get picked up by Slooshi, and Vladimir is working ever so more towards the Zonias. Watching this again, they'd already pushed Olaf into the jungle, so they knew it wasn't going to be a full-on fight. Catching Ninja means he can't combo any spells to keep the peel on, and they really just chain CC onto them as Brandini comes in for the taunt. Then Seraph has yet to achieve tankiness. He's actually going for Ghostblade after his Trinity Force, so he's going to be squishing in teamfights once again. And then I'm really not sure why Hakuho and LOD decided to step forward with Hemoplague still up and Zentinel still at full health, so they very quickly die. And now it's a 5v2, so they're able to push through and get 2 turns.
Clean conversion from Phoenix1 to even it right back up. As EnVy bite off a little bit more than they can chew. Trying to turn that fight around. The red buff was just stolen from across the map by LOD.
Oh, my.
And it was Slooshi there, too.
Yeah, LOD had the ward on it, but the ult show right in the mid lane. So either Slooshi would have needed to just use a spell to finish the burst on it, or stop damage and let the Ezreal ult fly through, because like they saw it with like 4 seconds of notice. But it steals for LOD, and that's really well done by him.
Seraph is going to try dueling Brandini here. Gets a bit of damage, but Brandini ran doing Sunfire. Seraph can't really do that much. Drops the ult.
I don't see Seraph being able to win that duel.
Yeah.
He's going Ghost, like, I'm a little curious about Seraph's build choice here, actually, and I'm normally a huge fan, but we actually do have a big push up the mid lane. We'll talk about the build later.
Yeah, EnVy tried to rotate to the top side of the map for a tier 2, but Phoenix1 respond by shoving down the mid onto the open inhibitor turret. There's no one to defend. They're able to get some damage. They get a good tempered fate, but EnVy are able to get there in time to keep it standing.
Maybe just stop the collapse.
Procxin wants to go in. Brandini is going to jump onto Zentinel. There's the true shot, and immediately he turns back around.
Yeah, they get the Shen ultimate out, but it does cost them Ghost on Procxin as well as ultimate. To speak to Seraph's build a little bit more, though, never mind. Not going to get caught.
Yeah, he is. Phoenix1 gets some good damage. Stun is going to miss. Effectively dodged. She separated Brandini, but he just taunts over the wall. Need to steal away this blue buff. The previous one did go to Ninja. Sentinel is going to smite it and take it away.
Yeah, P1 definitely putting up a good fight against EnVy. The question will be, can they maintain a level of cohesion to allow them to use this grouped up advantage and not make any big mistakes. They're making some very aggressive calls here, trying to push the bottom lane, whereas Baron is vulnerable right now. How well can EnVy defend this, and how quickly can they take Baron?
Yeah, this is the trade. The bottom tier 2 goes down, and EnVy, with this blue buff still on Ninja, are shredding through that Baron 23.5 minutes in. But Phoenix1 are looking to break down the inhibitor. They don't have any minions. Zentinel might even have to use his ult to get out of this. And Seraph, he's going to scare them away. Seems like Phoenix1 just couldn't quite convert it.
Yep, that's the clutch situation where you need to be able to make the right shot call. And last game, it was Phoenix1 who sneaks a Baron while EnVy was doing something on the bottom side of the map. This time, it is EnVy who was able to do the same thing with double pink wards and a blue buff Anivia plus an Olaf, who are two really fast Baron takers. The lower Olaf gets, the faster he's going to be able to kill Baron. So getting low helps him, in a sense, when you're trying to sneak it.
And EnVy immediately send 4 members to the top side of the map. They've already got deep vision, definitely going to be looking for that tier 2 turret, as this is the style that EnVy like to play. Put your opponent in between a rock and a hard place and try to make them choose.
Yeah, and Phoenix1 really had to go for the kill on the inhibitor because they were so far away by the time that Baron was trying to sneak, and Brandini's teleport was actually on Pirean at the time. They wouldn't have been able to take it. At this point, they're going to try and set up the 1-3-1, and like this is where Seraph can maybe get some work done. He can't win a duel, but Shen can't clear the minions. Gate's going to have to try and do something good.
Yeah, Ninja is still caught by the stun despite a flash. Tempered Fate doesn't force the engage. Seraph even teleports in. He doesn't have any minions and leaves Brandini on the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, well, Brandini won't be making any immediate threats since he's about 6,000 units away from an attackable turret. The temporary 5v4 should give EnVy a little bit of space to go up on the turret, knowing the Tempered Fate from Bard is down.
Yeah, this is the tier 2 going down. EnVy are able to siege and break it forward. Oh, man. Once again, the poke from EnVy just so terrifying. Might be looking for this inhibitor as well. This is going to be much harder to dive from what we saw with the flank with Procxin.
Yeah, and the wave clear, unless Slooshi's able to step up to get these minions cleared, is going to give a lot of time for Phoenix1 to push on, and we've prepped it in the past, and Anivia can push a Sivir off a turret with good wall placement and skill shot usage. But it's going to be on Slooshi to avoid those skill shots and be able to continue to clear these waves.
Meanwhile, Seraph splitting in the mid lane. It's a 4-1 setup for EnVy. They shove forward Ninja. He's going to drop the wall to keep the minion standing. Flash engage. Sentinel's going in as well. Let's see if they can get it off. Yes, Procxin drops the turret, and immediately EnVy try to back out. Seraph has joined the fight. LOD is kiting it out as best he can. Gate and Brandini in the front line. All 5 members of Phoenix are on the respite. It expires, and EnVy clean up with a double kill. About to become a triple. A huge Tempered Fate, but Ninja's not done. He's not going to let Gate out of here. He actually makes it into his base safely, but Pirean will finally drop the 4th kill for EnVy. They are on the inhibitor. Yeah. They might try to end.
They still have Baron, so this push was just so successful. Phoenix1 tries to desperation engage, and yeah, Dom, I think it's going to be series.
Nexus turret number 1 going down. Nexus turret number 2 follows, and EnVy are 4-0 in the North American LCS.
Such an abrupt finish, but that does speak to the strengths of EnVy. It's not like they play fast, but when they have the opportunity, they are able to capitalize. They take the bad positioning of Phoenix1 in the bottom side in order to 3-man the Baron, then they immediately push up where their minions are already strong. They had prepped the minion waves properly with Seraph, which is why Brandini was stuck in the bottom lane for so long, trying to eventually create threat. But the time that EnVy bought on the turrets was too great. Phoenix1 didn't want to give up the inhibitor, and EnVy just outplayed in the team fights and in the individual play once again down the stretch. They pull out probably got to be one of their fastest wins of the split.
Yeah, very quick win for EnVy, just making that decision.